Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow.
Get your sillies out! Get your sillies out!
Let me adjust my boobs. No. You know, we should do one whole episode in accents.
3 for our refreshment.
She spiked hers.
I was just clicking it.
I know it is.
That's our goal. To make Amanda's life a living hell.
Okay, everyone put your boobs on the table.
I can't
Stop.
I'm really nervous.
How's everybody doing? Carrie, what's up?
Why did everybody look at me? That was so accusing. Hey, Carrie, what's up? How are you?
Showtime.
Jeanette's a slave driver.
I know, she's scared.
Do you want this show to be awesome or not?
It's not a food shake.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what happened. Like, I just...
Hey! Welcome back. All right, so we all have a story, right? So it might be my nosy nature, but I love to hear your stories. I want to hear about where you came from, where you are now. Are you where you always thought you would be? Did you have to stop and rewrite your script? Are you rewriting your script now? I want to know all the things. Don't let this frighten you from coming to the after party. I want to know all of the things. So here's a question for you. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up? Go. Well, I did not want to be the president, but the only thing that I thought would be cool about being the president would be that you would get to have Secret Service agents. Hubba hubba. But because you'd get to have the cool earpiece and you'd get a code name and you'd get to talk in a secret language and, well, it would go something like this. This is Rosso, AKA Amazon Warrior, calling out to Fluffy Nugget. Do you read me, Fluffy Nugget? Fluffy Nugget.
I told you to stop calling me that, Carrie.
Not Carrie. This is Amazon Warrior. And it's time to thank our sponsors, and I need a 2020 on the 411 on the sponsor list. Do you copy, Fluffy Nugget? Do you copy? I'm looking for the 217 on the sponsor list. Fluffy Nugget, come in. Fluffy Nugget.
Is this what you're looking for?
Thank you, Fluffy Nugget. Well, now it's time to take a moment and thank the sponsors that made it possible for us to be here tonight, sharing our stories with you.
We'd really like to thank our presenting sponsor, Christie Clinic, for making this evening possible. It has been such a great pleasure working with you each and every year.
And a huge, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you to Sterling Wealth Management. And they are also sponsoring the after party tonight, so if you don't have your tickets yet and you want to come yuck it up with us and let me ask you a million questions about your life, you can still buy tickets at the box office immediately after the show or at the door at Big Grove Tavern.
We'd really like to thank all of our LadyFest event sponsors from this weekend, including Junior League of Champaign-Urbana for hosting our kickoff party Thursday night. What a lovely evening that was. Our Shabam ladies for dancing with us in the One Main Plaza this morning, and to Lola's Brush and Gallery 217. The Femme Figure Show is still going on. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can go to Gallery 217 tomorrow. And our final LadyFest event, a paint and sit party with Lola's Brush tomorrow. Check it out, lolasbrush.com.
Thank you also to Bank Champaign, Mowgli Studios, Busey Bank, Carol Wackerlin Photography, the Illinois Marathon, 5 Foot Productions, and Texture Home for making our set look so gorgeous. And thank you to all of our sponsors for making tonight possible.
And lastly, a big thank you to Dr. Jeffrey Ferrix for providing an Invisalign package valued at $5,000 that we were raffling off tonight. So that that package is going home with someone tonight.
Let's get the 2020 on the raffle box, Fluffy Nugget. It's time to pick a winner.
That's right. Someone's getting lucky tonight.
That's what she said. Sorry.
Let's see who the winner is.
And the winner is...
The winner is Kelly Campbell. I guess she's here.
So Lisa Frericks in the house. Lisa, please stand up. Please stand up. So Lisa has an informational packet for you, if you can find her after the show. Are you kidding? This is rigged. This is baloney. Well, congratulations and thank you.
Yes, congratulations. But I think it's time to get Act 2 on the road.
Please welcome back our speakers.
I left my full-time job to be a stay-at-home mom on May 26, 2016. I went back to work full-time on August 18, 2016. It's a hard job. Those of you who do it, I applaud you. I know that many of us with kids struggle with the work in the home, work out of the home decision. I never thought I'd be a stay-at-home mom. So you might ask why I would willingly quit my job to become a stay-at-home mom of 3 boys? I know. Allow me to share with you 3 fond memories that made me reconsider if I should be a stay-at-home mom. One night, my 7-year-old asked my husband if I was a OneTrick Pony. Of course, I blamed the lovely influences of the older kids at day camp, because then he went on to tell us that he was not going to marry a one-trick pony. Besides moments like this, I quickly realized that my boys were having experiences with the day camp counselors and other kids that they should be having with me. Shouldn't I be taking them to the park, or on hikes, or to the library to get books? Oftentimes, the day was nearly over by the time I picked them up. After some sports practice most nights, we'd go home, eat dinner, and it was soon time for bed. It left only the weekends for real family time. And it left me thinking, what else was I going to miss? And for the record, the answer is no, I am not a one-trick pony. Another night, my husband and I were having a contest naming state capitals, with our older 2 boys serving as hosts. We were flying through most of the states, but we got to Iowa, and they said, "What's the capital?" We didn't know at all. So we said, "What? Just give us a hint." Our oldest child says, "D." I shout out, "Des Moines." I knew it. Had to be it. He says, "No." Dumbfounded, my husband and I look at each other, confused. What else could it be? He says it's Des Moines. But wait, it gets better. We finally got to the last state, Wyoming. This game was taking forever. I was glad we were getting to the last state. And so, of course, again, we don't know what the capital is. It's kind of embarrassing. So, again, we say, just give us a hint. Our middle child says, C. That's all I needed. I shouted, Cheyenne, and he says, no. I again, dumbfounded for, I don't know, the umpteenth time. We're like, just fine, let's finish this game. What's the answer? And he says, it's shiny. I know what you're all thinking. Blame the school. But I won't. The administrators, teachers, staff at Carrie Busey have been nothing short of amazing. Yeah. Instead, I'm going to attribute it to myself. When I was his age, my mom stayed at home with my sisters and I, and we always did a word of the day. Thank you, Mom. I feel like I should be having that time with my kids too. Even though I probably messed them up, I hate to admit, but I recently discovered via Facebook that the phrase is intents and purposes, not intensive purposes. This coming from the girl who still says, whores divorce. Laugh, please. Happens all the time. But then, there was that one night. I forgot to pick up my son from basketball practice. Seriously, you can laugh, it's okay. Not only that, I forgot to pick up his friend too. Being honest. After a long day of work, I was racing back home in the winter on my hour-plus commute to fulfill my duties as chauffeur. Long story. Talk to me at the after party. Reaching what I thought was my final destination, my husband asked me where our oldest son was at. 3 times he asked me this. It wasn't until he came up to me and asked me point blank if I had picked up our oldest son from basketball and brought him to wrestling that I felt the heat rise in my neck and my face, a lump in my throat, my insides flip. I hadn't. Not knowing what to do, I reached for my phone, only to see missed calls from his friend's mom and my son's coach. Thank goodness his friend's mom is a pastor's wife. Seriously. And practices forgiveness on the regular. We can laugh about it now. I still haven't stopped apologizing. But what I have done is realize I was doing too much. People often ask me, how do you do it all? And honestly, I don't think I do. Besides working full-time, I'm a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, aunt, friend, colleague, confidant, cheerleader, PTA, or member of the school board. It goes on and on. Thanks. It's a lot. I'm raising 3, well, really 4 boys, including my husband. It's true. There's a boo. I'm 34, and I just finished my PhD in educational organization and leadership. Thanks. It's a lot. It is a lot. Ironically, though, I track the ages of my children with the phases in my life. I have a moving to Champaign baby, a graduate school baby, and a dissertation baby. I know you have those too. So yeah, something had to give. And that's what began the summer of Mom PhD. And I was ready. I had made great plans, you know, our summer bucket list. And it was going to be memorable. I had done my research, of course, printed off 4 pages of summer fun. It's 4. You laugh, you know. I even got it laminated. So how did it go? Well, it wasn't the summer I thought it'd be. You know when you're at work and you look on Facebook, Peggy was saying, and you see these amazing pictures of what people are doing while you're at work? Didn't quite happen. Our middle child wasn't tall enough for the water slides. Several friends that we had planned play dates for were on vacation. And my kids were always complaining about it being too hot. Towards the end of the summer, I started to realize why my stay-at-home mom friends were so excited for school to start. A memorable summer indeed. I absolutely love my kids. And I also realize it's okay for me to work outside the home. It's what works for me, for us. While the time together increased as a stay-at-home mom, the quality has never diminished. In fact, I appreciate our time together more, just being in the present and in the moment with them. I can talk. I wasn't looking for a job this fall, but a cool opportunity came my way. And I felt my voice was needed in the conversation. Not only is it flexible, but it allows me to showcase my other skills and abilities. I have no idea what the future holds, or if this opportunity will present itself again, or frankly that I would take it. But I'm still learning this thing called work-life balance. Most of all, I'm still working to be the mom I want to be.
I turned 60 a few years ago. I stopped dyeing my hair. I designed my own party. I told my husband where I wanted it, how I wanted it, and who I wanted to be there. I got what I wanted. I got a little sassy. It was a good birthday. A few days later, I was thinking about 60, and I thought about my mother, who was 90. Wow, that's 30 years. What am I going to do with another 30 years? And if I live to be as long as my mother, 30 years is a third of my life. Another third. The third. It was a time of pondering. 30 more years. I don't know why, but I've always wondered what I'm going to be like when I'm old. I remember being in an early morning Bible study with other women my age, all of us very sure we were exceptionally wise and knowledgeable in our 20s. One morning, another woman, younger than me, said, "I can't wait until I'm a wise older woman." I remember thinking, you better start learning wisdom now, because I am pretty sure it's not going to be delivered with your Medicare card. I used to take my little boys to visit at the nursing home, because I wanted them to be comfortable around old people. I noticed that in the nursing home, there are two kinds of people. There are the nice ones, and there are the other kind of ones. Over the years, I have noticed that the nice women did not become nice when they moved into assisted living with pockets full of butterscotch candies for little boys. And the other kind of ones, they probably didn't get grumpy or mean overnight either. One thing that I have come to know as a truth is that as we age, we just care less about what other people think of us. And we also, frankly, just have less energy to pretend to be any way. to pretend to be any other way than who we really are at our core. So it matters what we're like in our first third and our second third. Because when we're in our third, who we really are is just going to sort of seep out of us. Which old woman will I be? It's a big question. I've answered that question for myself by saying that I want grace and truth to seep out of me. Now, and when I'm really old. Now, if I were to get a tattoo, which I'm pretty sure I won't, because I am in my third and my skin's getting a little stretchy. It would be grace on my left arm and truth on my right. Because I'm always trying to counterbalance grace and truth. It's the way that I'm intentionally designing my third, learning to balance grace and truth. Truth comes pretty easy for me. I can usually say what I believe to be true. Grace, though, I'm always learning, and often the hard way. I've had some great opportunities for learning grace. It took grace to stay in a marriage to a man who was in a very difficult career environment and who was depressed for most of, the first 35 years of our marriage. It's taken grace for me to learn to be a good mom because I didn't exactly grow up dreaming of being a mother. We have 5 kids. 5. They are now all 5 grown and responsible and in good relationships. Finally. A great source of learning grace for me is our son who has Down syndrome. From Joel, I've learned to fight for him and to love as he loves and to be patient. Sometimes patient with Joel, but more often patient and gracious to people who are unkind. I watched Joel be full of grace. More opportunity to learn grace was when I was diagnosed with cancer, when I was pregnant with our youngest child, only daughter, who has been a delight in every way, and who's sitting right over there. I kind of had to say that, but it is really true, Anne. Not long after that, it took 2.5 years for me to be diagnosed with a neuromuscular disease that had me in a wheelchair part-time for family outings. The women who were close to me during that time, for 2.5 years told me there was probably nothing really wrong with me. I learned to respond to them with grace, but it was hard. When I decided that I would extend grace to our oldest son when he was struggling with addiction, it was the hardest, I think. I knew that I had said enough truth to this son as I drove him to the airport to catch a plane to go to rehab to see if he would fight his addiction to heroin, learned right here on the streets in Champaign. I knew I had to show him grace and love. Truly, I could not have done that if I had not been intentionally learning grace. Learning grace the hard way has just sort of been my life. I learn the hard way for some reason. I don't know why, but I wanted to learn grace, so I stuck it out. Grace, patience, forgiveness. This is part of who I am now and what I'm taking with me into my third. Not because I was born this way, but because I know what I want to ooze out of me when I no longer have the energy or care to pretend to be any way other than who I really am at my core. So, I'm almost 5 years into my third, and I am having fun. I'm practicing oozing out grace and truth. I'm smiling at the future, even if it lasts for another 30 years.
Is there anything more terrifying than being a preteen girl? Do you all remember middle school? Okay? Right, it's not fun. Leaving the comfort of elementary school and that core group of friends that you grew up with? What's the scariest thing for a preteen? Boys? Acne? Having your parents chaperone your very first middle school dance? Yes, there they are, I see you. Yes. How about changing in the locker room for the very first time in front of all those new faces? We wanted more than anything to fit in, to be just like everyone else. Well, I went into those years knowing I was going to be different than everybody else. Now that's scary. So, here's my backstory. I was diagnosed with scoliosis in the 3rd grade. For those of you that don't know, scoliosis is a curvature of your spine. It's something that can be fixed if you listen to your doctor and your parents. Now, I already knew how they were going to fix this problem because both my brother had it, my mom had it when she was growing up. So I knew that it meant years of wearing a back brace and possibly surgery at some point in the future. So my doctor gave me like a little mini replica of the back brace that I would have to start wearing, and so I could take it with me to school for show and tell. It was kind of like my very own after-school special, showing everybody that I would have to wear this thing permanently. And it's not like this thing could be hidden unless I wanted to wear a turtleneck every single day, and that wasn't going to happen. No, turtlenecks when you're a kid, no. The best thing about being in elementary school is growing up with those same kids. They all know who you are. Nobody ever treated me any different. It was almost normal. Well, by the time I entered 6th grade, I was over the back brace, done with it. It just hit me like, I don't want to wear this thing anymore. I don't want people asking me about it, new school and all that. I was done. There's nothing more embarrassing for a young kid than being at the airport and going through the security line, having to remove your back brace and put it on the scanner, have it being x-rayed, and then grabbing it off the scanner, and then putting it back on under your clothes. No, wasn't going to happen for me. I didn't like it. So clearly, I dropped that thing like a bad habit. And how is a back brace going to fit into a cheerleading uniform? I mean, I was looking to my future, people, and wearing a back brace did not fit into my lifelong dream of being a cheerleader. I knew that if I didn't keep wearing the back brace, that I would eventually have to have that back surgery. Well, I didn't care. I thought of it as a quick fix, a way to just go back to being a normal kid. Not so much. Being the typical teenager, I didn't listen to my parents, and I stopped wearing my back brace. My back surgery happened when I was 14, my freshman year of high school. And boy, did it suck. I didn't think of the end results of what surgery would have, or like the recovery. I mean, deep down, I knew I was going to have a scar, but it wasn't like at the top of my mind. I mean, I was just thinking about the quick fix, the end results. I mean, I was a teenager. Can you blame me? Recovery was brutal. Days in the hospital, weeks out of school, having a tutor at home, and not being able to do anything for myself. It was awful. But then, of course, to me, the worst part was I had to miss freshman cheerleading tryouts, crushing my pom-pom dreams. I wish I had listened to my parents. Yes, Mom and Dad, you were right. I should have worn it. But seriously, I didn't think about how I would feel physically after the surgery. The first time I saw the scar, I thought it was hideous. I thought it was really ugly. I thought I was ugly. And I thought, if I'm thinking these things about myself, what are others going to think of me when they see it? When it was visible through something I was wearing, then the questions would start. Where'd you get that thing? Or what is that? It was awful. I thought, I'm never going to be able to wear all those cute, fun clothes that all the new high schoolers are going to be wearing, that backless dress at your first dance, or swimsuits on vacation, because I didn't want people asking me about my scar. Well, I currently have 2 titanium rods on each side of my spine, and they are here to stay. And guess what? After my back surgery, part of my recovery was to wear another damn back brace. Now remember, I stopped wearing the first one because I didn't want to go into middle school with a back brace, right? Now I'm in high school and I had to wear another one. Luckily, it was only for 2 months, but it was mandatory for my recovery. But there it was, yet again, taunting me and keeping me from those cheerleading tryouts. I mean, at this point, after my surgery, I thought, how am I ever going to be a cheerleader? Because now, not only do I have this giant scar on my back, I've got 2 metal rods, which means I can't bend over. Okay, I have perfect posture, yes, but I can't bend, I can't tumble. And we all know that cheerleaders are the ones doing the backflips and everything, right? I knew I couldn't do it. Not only that, what I thought cheerleaders were these beautiful girls who were always on point, looking cute, and here I am with this giant thing on my back. Like, it didn't fit into my vision of what I thought a cheerleader was. Well, being the determined teenager that I was, desperate to be a cheerleader, I did anything I could think of to become one, and that determination finally paid off. About a year later, I had proven to the cheerleading squad and the cheerleading coach that I could high kick and do a cheer routine right along with the rest of them, and no one had more pep in their step than me. My dream finally became reality, scars and all. So we got what we thought was going to be this terrible diagnosis when I was in 3rd grade, and while it literally put me on my back, I wasn't going to let it keep me down for too long. You are currently looking at the recipient of the 2005 Central High School Spirit Award, and my spirit hasn't stopped since.
Me. Take those music stands out of here, they're gone. Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. I'll do some new tricks, some old and then some new kicks. I'm very versatile. And if you're real good, I'll make you feel good. I want your spirit to climb. So let me entertain you. And we'll have a real good time. Yes, sir. We'll have a real good time. I'm fabulous. I've got the sequins, the shoes, the jewelry, the painted face, the attitude, the feathers. Well, not as many feathers as I'd like, but Hobby Lobby's just down the road. I'm kind of like a drag queen, except I have the actual lady equipment. I'm a diva and a narcissist. In fact, I am the premier jazz and cabaret performer of Central Illinois. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. You're so kind. What that essentially means, though, is I'm a very good waitress. Not anymore, but I was for 15 magical years. And now I just sing. Sometimes. I don't have as much work as I'd like, of course, but I'm tenacious. I call, I email, I stalk every restaurant, bar, club, company, organization, perfect stranger. And I rarely hear a yes, but I rarely hear a no. I usually just hear nothing. Which is all right. People want me. They don't know it yet, but they do. In fact, I was recently booked to sing out at Homer Lake. In a picnic shelter. And I like singing outside. I mean, nature is a bummer. But besides that, I mean, sure. So there's a lake, mosquitoes, so many mosquitoes. Then it started raining. There were people fishing, like 9 people came. Of course, 3 of those 9 people were my husband and 2 kids, but talk about sensational. And I know what you're saying. Did she just say 2 kids? I know I look so young, but I'm actually in my mid-30s. Stop gasping already. Please. Please, please, please. I just sleep in Tupperware. It's a thing. Yeah, so I've got the 2 kids. Walter is 8, Lois is 4. They are charming, adorable, funny, smart little monsters. They like to paint, play with Legos, have dance parties, fight over stupid crap, ruin my furniture, demand snacks constantly, and talk to me while I'm on the phone and/or toilet. They're amazing. They're terrific. And my husband, Dane, he is the best frickin' thing that ever happened to me. He is actually the best frickin' thing that ever happened to anybody because he took me off the market. You're welcome. I feel, though, just for a moment, we should discuss some of the stuff my kids do. My son went through this phase where he thought he was a raccoon. And, fine. I come downstairs one day. He's sitting on the couch in the living room, and the entire room reeks of hair pomade. You know, the paste? And so I said, "Oh, you got a little paste in your hair there, buddy?" And he said, "Yep, and it's all over my fur." What do you mean? What do you mean it's all over your fur? No, okay? He had put it all over. Hair, arms, legs, hands, feet, stomach, chest, neck. Oh, everywhere. And I said, "What are you doing? You have it all over you?" He said, "Well, yeah, I'm a raccoon." I said, "No, okay, but raccoons don't wear hair pomade." He said, "Yeah, but I'm going to a party later, so." Come on. And then there's my daughter, the little one, okay? She's 4. She's like a little mini-me. She's a little diva. It's kind of like living with Mariah Carey. She doesn't ask, she doesn't tell, she demands. Okay? And if I don't comply, she does one of these. And she says, "You listen to me, little girl." Ooh. She called me a little girl. To which I want to say, R-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-S-E-C-T, I take K-T-C-T. Oh, a little respect. Mm-hmm. Ooh. You know what I mean, right? My bra's showing. I'm sorry. I gotta take care. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm rude. Needless to say, I have two very different lives, right? I have one life where I'm a fabulous, yet semi-successful singer. And another life where I'm a fabulous, yet semi-successful mom. I mean, I love my kids, but I don't love being a stay-at-home mom. I feel stifled, bored. I'm always bored, out of my mind. I'm annoyed at my kids and myself. Thank you. I mean, this is not what I envisioned. This is not my beautiful life. This is not fabulous. Don't I belong on a stage somewhere? Then yeah. I mean, like not this stage. I mean, this one's fine. I like this stage, but this is a good stage. I mean, you know what I mean. Like other stages. Stages across the land. But after all, I am just a girl from Kansas. I'm serious. I can show you my birth certificate. So one night I was feeling very, very upset. I was crying and I felt very broken and kind of like a loser. I really did. And I called my mom, crying. You know, just told her that I'm not doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not amounting to what I feel I should be. And my mom said, Kate, you know, I don't think we're here to be great singers or writers or artists. We're here for each other. You know, I'm here for you. I know you're here for me. I love you, and your children love you. And you need to show your children that you love them as much as you can because you are their entire world. They adore you. Love comes from happiness, which does take practice, but it's not something that you're going to be able to go out and just find. It's something that you've always had. And it's what's important. It's the most important thing. So I got off the phone, and I went upstairs to look at my kids while they're sleeping. They're so peaceful when they're sleeping, you know? I'm so peaceful when they're sleeping. Everyone struggles at some point, I think, with who they are, who they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be accomplishing, who they're supposed to be impressing. But it's a process. But we're here for each other, and to love each other, and to support each other. And love is what is most important. And those are words from my mom. Her name is Dara Lee Flynn. She's here tonight. Yeah. She's got it. And you know what? So do I. And I am fabulous enough. We're gonna sing. I'm gonna sing and you're gonna help me, okay? Yeah, why don't y'all stand up? Stand up, and hold hands. Put your arms We want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in our room, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by and hear those children cry. Put a little love in your heart, you're so good. You are all clapping hands. I think that's great with your hands. So put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and you and her and me and them. The whole world will see. All right, ready? Put a little love in your heart. Awesome. Yeah. Wait, big job on. Sometimes in our lives, you know what? We all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lord, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, sister, when you know. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Everyone here tonight, you can put up that fight. So put a little love in your heart. Right here in Champaign or in another town too. So put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you